Shalom, call halal, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem HaKakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push in the word and truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. And shalom and salutations to all the Akwath out listening and learning. I'm the brother Yahshua, back with the World War III Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to you all that have made it here. All right, this is going to be a very quick little update. I saw something that was very interesting, okay? Because these devils, right, these Edomites are trying to establish what they call the New World Order, right? But what they don't understand is that man's goings are of the Lord. Let's get that real quick. Let me see. Man's goings right here. Let's get it real quick to start out. Okay? Meaning this, God, the one you call God, whose name is Yahweh, and his son, Yahweh Shai, they create everything, even your plans for the day. All right, we could get further into this, but I'm just going to just touch on it real quick. Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? In the NIV. A person's steps are directed by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. How then can anyone understand their own way? The Lord directs our steps. A man's steps are from the Lord. Everybody. Man's steps are ordained, ordered by the Lord. The steps of a man are from Yahweh. Okay? Even a courageous person's steps are determined by the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right? So you might think you have free will, but you don't. According to just this, you don't have free will. Well, it's free will. No, you don't. Okay? Show me in the Bible where it says God gave you free will. Okay? You can't do it. Anyway, back. Now that we've shown that, here's what God's plans are. No matter what you think, we're going to bring in a new world order, and here's who's going to run this damn thing. No longer going to be America. It's going to be China's going to be the top country, and the Israelis are going to be at the very pinnacle of the new world order. Well, let's find out what's going to happen. Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of thy confederacy. What confederacy? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in it. Let's read it in the NIV. All your allies. Whose allies? Well, we're going to find out. Will force you to the border. Your friends will deceive you and overpower you. Those who eat your bread will set a trap for you, but you will not detect it. All your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. Now we're going to come back to all your allies. Who is your allies? All right, we're going to watch this. Because why would little Satan, okay, you go ask any Arab, right, that they're bringing together. Everybody is working on the New World Order, right? Well, what happened to Vladimir? Why did he become the pariah suddenly? Wasn't he? Isn't he? Is he not involved in the new world order? All right. What is this? Netanyahu and the Israelis state visit to China to sign BRICS. What's that? Is this not the little Satan? Are the Israelis not the little? Ask any Arab, and they will tell you that the United States is the great Satan, and the little Satan are the Israelis, meaning they're joined together at the hip. All right, Israel and the United States, the Israelis and the United States are joined together at the hip. So why is Netanyahu going to join BRICS? That's a conflict of interest, right? Let's listen to this. Take it away, you beloved idiot, Stephen.
Good afternoon, friends. Stephen Benin here with Israeli News Live, and got some very interesting intel out of Israel today. And that information is that the state of Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu, is actually making a very surprise visit over to China right now. And that trip that he is about to make is part of an initiative to join the BRICS, the whole New World Order, BRICS nations.
You hear that? That is a conflict of interest. Okay. What about the U.S.? Well, we're reading it right here. All your allies will force you to the border. All your allies will turn against you. Right? They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy. Your trusted friends will set traps for you and you won't even know about it. So, confusion is coming upon these people. Okay, go ahead.
Agenda. Now, this information coming out of Israel that I actually got, people that are actually in the know, people that are actually working in the economy of Israel, very high up in the economic forum of Israel, has shared with me that Netanyahu, his state trip to China is to forge the relationship with the BRICS nations, that being Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, Brazil. That's right. I got Brazil as well in there. But many other nations have already joined, including we know that I think Saudi Arabia has joined in with them. We know that Egypt, and as well as one other nation. Now, I kind of found this interesting, also in light of the fact that Amos Yadlin, who is a very famous Israeli general, he's a retired general, executive director of the Institute of National Security and Studies from 2011 to 2021. He's former head of Israel's Defense Intelligence. And he came out in some tweets on Twitter. He says the briefing on the Prime Minister's intention to visit China next month as a signal of the Biden administration that Israel has strategic alternatives to powerful support is an Israeli attempt to imitate the Saudi diversification of supports policy. This is a move that will harm the Israeli interests and not promote it. Now, General Yadlin actually is supportive of Israel maintaining their ties with the U.S. because, as he points out, that Israel has a very close, good ties with the U.S. And, of course, yes, we've been bled pretty dry by Israel in supplying all of their modern weapons, technology, etc. And he feels like joining up with BRICS is going to lose that relationship that has been ongoing for many, many decades there. He also says here in this part of the tweet for you as well, if someone in the Prime Minister's circle thinks it is wise to behave like Ben Salman and travel to China to annoy Biden and show him that Israel has another strategic option, they are making a bitter mistake.
Do you hear this language? There's backbiting and fighting going on. And we're at the, the beginning of World War III. All right? So whose side is Israel on? Or the Israelis when I say that? Whose side are those Israelis on? All right? So this is significant. Excuse me. All right, this guy always turns his comments off. Anyway, so yeah, look into that. Watch the rest of this. It's pretty short, but this is significant. All right, BRICS, right, is the other side. All right, BRICS is Russia. Well, it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. All right, fighting against who they call the West, even though Brazil is in the West. Okay, so this is directly the other side of World War III. You have to have two sides fighting against each other. Well, this is the other side. And Netanyahu is going to visit to sign into BRICS. What's that? Okay. What is that? Anyway, let's go back to Obadiah real quick. All your allies, right? What word was I looking for? All the men of thy confederacy. What confederacy is that? Let's look up Confederate first. Let's look up the word Confederate and let's find out what that means because people don't understand. Oh, the Confederate Army. Con means with, first of all. Confederate. Confederate. What the hell? Slocky, bear with me. Confederate. Definition. Joined by an agreement or treaty. Okay? This is what it means. Joined by an agreement or treaty. Okay? Obadiah says, all the men of thy treaty, the ones that are joined with you, all your friends, your allies, right, will turn against you. Right? Your confederacy, your allies will turn against you. What confederacy? What are you talking about? Talking about this. Let's look for the word confederacy. Okay. Uh-oh. They are confederate. Uh-oh. Psalm 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Dealing with the Most High here, Yahweh. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God, O Yahweh. Okay. For lo, thine what? God has enemies? For look, your enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee. You mean God's enemies hate him? They that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. They came and sat down at a G8. They said, we got to come against God and his people. And against who's God's people? Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians. And consulted, there's that word consulted against thy hidden ones. Who? Who are the hidden ones? Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, and speckled bird. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. Cut who off? His hidden ones. What's their name? that the nation, cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel, not these guys, not this guy, not the Israelis, but the nation of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and some may be no more in remembrance. They're being hidden. Nobody knows that they are the nation of Israel. They have succeeded in cutting them off to this point that nobody even remembers that the Negroes, the Latinos, the Native Americans, oh, they're just black. Oh, they're Africans. Oh, they're Native Americans. Okay? They're not the children of Israel. No way. Well, the Bible is telling you something different. Okay? Because it's going to give you, right, a list of names that are confederate against God and against his people. It's going to shed light on what's really going on. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Against who? Against God and his chosen ones, right? His people, his hidden ones, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, similar ones. Well, who is confederate? Who is the confederacy? The Edomites, the Ishmaelites, the Moabites, the Hagarites. Well, who would we call these people today? The Caucasians, the Arabs, the Chinese, and the Africans, the Japanese, the Israelis. These are Africans, not those Arabs over there. Those Arabs over there fall under this name. Okay, more Africans there. All right, so when we go back here and we understand who these names are, okay, it says the Edomites, the Amalekites visit the land of Moab, okay? And what's happening here is this confederacy, this is the confederacy. Edom, Ishmael, Moab, Hagarenes, Amalek, Ammon, okay? This confederacy is being compromised. The men that were confederate with thee, all right, it says, with thee, this is the thee, and these are the men that were confederate with you. Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, Gabal. Skip over that guy. These two guys are the same. Okay? When you know what this is saying, you understand what is being said. Okay? So this is the confederacy. Edom, Ishmael. Now, when we go back, who's being spoken of? Edom. Let's find out. Let's go back and read Obadiah. All your allies. All whose allies? All the men allied with you. Who is you? Who's being spoken to? All the men of thy confederacy. Who's thy? Well, let's find out. Let's read up. The vision of Obadiah. Wait, let's start here at the header. We already know who we're talking about. This is who we're talking about. Okay? The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. So that's who this is. All the men of the confederacy of the Edomites, He's at the head of the list. Okay? The men that were at peace with thee, with the Edomites. Okay? And whatever this guy who is an Edomite, Netanyahu, he's an Edomite. He's an Amalekite. All right? These people, all right, while you're turning your back on your fellow man, the Edomites in America, these guys are setting a trap for you too. Got it? And you might be confused, but we're not. We see what's going on. What is this? You're clearly on the side of the West, BB. Now you're going to join up with the other side? That's confusion. You are inextricably linked to Babylon the Great, which is America. Okay? And you guys are infighting. If Satan, right, cast out Satan, that's what this is. This is Satan casting out Satan. We'll end on that. Okay? Whether you understand or not. If Satan is divided against himself, right? If Satan is divided against himself, how can his kingdom stand? I say this because you claim that I drive out demons by Beelzebub. Satan is casting out Satan right here in the big picture of things. I thought you guys were Confederate, right? And this whole World War III thing, right? Why is it that in Ukraine right now, if Ukraine was being bombarded and the whole country was being decimated by Russia, how is it that they're building the infrastructure for the CBDC? How is Russia, that is at war with the West, if you will, how is it that they're building the infrastructure for the CBDC? That's the question, right? Well, they're going to make a go for the New World Order, but it ain't going to come to fruition, right? I can't think of the scripture right now. That he shall not, that he shall not accomplish. Let me see if I can find it. I'll get something else. Let's see. Fill his belly. Let's go to Job. What? We'll start it. Start at 20. All right, and this is speaking of the New World Order. All right. Job 20 and 20. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. What did he desire? That NWO, to be like God on the earth. There shall none of his meat be left. There shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. He's in straits now. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him, the laborers. Right? When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Okay? Which he is not able to accomplish something. What is that? Which he is not. Salakia. No. Salakia, let me look it up. I gotta find it now. Salakia, bear with me. No, I can't look there. Bear with me. Which is might be in the apocrypha. Let me see. Let's go to Job. We'll end on this here. Job 5. Job 5 and 12. He disappointeth the devices of, what is this? Of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. What enterprise? NWO. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Okay? So, what is this? This is Satan casting out Satan. All right? And this is going to cause that war. All right? Your allies. What does the word ally mean? Go back to what? Where were we? Your allies. In war, the allied forces. What does that mean, allied forces? Confederate. Let's get allied. Allied forces. The Allies were led by allies of World War One. Allied forces definition. What is Allied forces? Allied forces or troops are armies from different countries who are fighting on the same side in a war. Let's read it again. Allied forces or troops are armies from different countries who are fighting on the same side in a war. Now let's go back. Allies. All your allies. Okay? This is talking about the men that were allied. This is talking about armies. Ever heard of the Confederate Army? All right, so this is dealing with World War III. All your allies will turn against you. Okay? What does this mean? They will promise you peace, right? While plotting to deceive and to destroy you. All right? Peace. What's the opposite of peace? And we'll close on this. Ecclesiastes 3. 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Jump down to 8. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace, that be at peace with thee. No, they're not at peace with you. They're at war with you. When they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction. Destruction what? Of that war. Destruction comes from that war. When they shall say peace and safety, right? Go back. Obadiah. They will promise you peace. There's a time for peace. We're not in that time. While plotting to deceive and destroy you. Destroy you how? In that war. World War III. Okay? You got to put the pieces of the puzzle together. We can read it in the Berean. Revelation 11:14, the second woe has passed. Behold, the third woe is coming shortly. World War II, World War III is coming shortly. Who's going to win? The angels. All right, that's another lesson. So with that, we hope that the elect were edified. You brothers and few sisters, it's getting interesting. Get your popcorn. All right, shalom.